Hey everyone, welcome to H. Cooper Crafty Bug. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this victory braid using 6 ribbons. This is not the first time I've done a tutorial for this, but I think I have 2 others. I know the first one I did, I used 3 colors. So this one I'm using 2 colors, and I believe the last one I did in between there was 2 colors as well. This is going to be a 24-inch braid, and I'm just doubling the length I need, and I'm also doubling the ribbons. So measuring out 24 and 24 and then folding it in half, and then make sure that it's the same length as the first one and cut that. So each ribbon I'm using is going to be doubled. So I'm honest, so instead of 6 ribbons, I'm actually using 12 if you want to double the ribbons. It just depends. I mean, whichever way you want to do it. If you want the shiny side showing on the entire braid, then double your ribbons. If you want a little bit thicker braid, then double your ribbons. And if you're using a light color on top of a dark color, the colors are gonna pop better if you double the ribbons as well. But especially if you use white, like white on top of black or white on top of any dark color, the dark color is going to fade out the white whenever it overlaps it, or wherever the white overlaps the dark color. So if you double the ribbons, it won't do that. So I'm measuring out 48 inches of gold 3 times, but those are all doubled. But I only need 48-inch length for those doubles, and then again for the pink. So the gold is actually, I believe that's an old gold. I don't know if I can't remember. I've got both old gold and just regular gold now because I couldn't find the old gold. But I can't remember if I'm using the new one, just the plain gold, or the old gold on that one. But the pink is just plain pink acetate from McGinley Mills. So they're both McGinley Mills acetates. So again, measure 24, 24, fold in half, and then measure out that piece. And make sure your shiny side is on the outside on both sides. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth doubling it. So you want the dull side facing in on both ribbons. So I'm going to put a link or a card. It's going to come across showing at least one of those other videos, or maybe even the playlist that has all my victory braids in it. So you can call this the Harlequin. I'm not sure how many ribbons a Harlequin actually has, because I have a VIP members only video showing it with 8 ribbons, and this one again is 6 ribbons. You still get the look, so I think it depends on how wide you want to make it. And these ribbons are the 7/8 inch width. You can make a victory braid with 9/16 as well. So the only thing I hate about making a victory braid this way is you have to get the perfect angle. Your ribbons have to be at just the right angle to get a really good braid. And sometimes it doesn't work out right. So I decided to use clips to clip them in place, and I'm going to check it. I'm checking the folds just to see, make sure I've got the exact angle that I want before stapling them. And I used to not staple them. I used to tape them down. Now I staple them together just to hold them in place, and then you don't have to fight them. And you can still tape it down after you staple it just to hold it down so it doesn't move all over the place when you're trying to braid. This is a lot of staples, so it's the only thing I hate about it, but it will hold your your ribbons where you want them, so you don't have to worry about them moving around or anything. The last one, and since you're using 6 ribbons, that's a lot of staples, but Here's what it looks like, and you need to have them in that order because that pink ribbon on the right, I've already done the fold twice on the pink ribbon, and I apologize, I edited it out because I kept having to take it apart and redo it because I could not get the angle right on this one. And I didn't realize I'd already folded those and didn't show that. So I think I'm going to put a little picture in the corner of part of the video I had edited out to show braiding those first braids. But you start with the right ribbon, so that right pink ribbon needs to be on top of the gold because you're going to braid with the top ribbon. So now I'm already moving on to the gold ribbon on the left side. So you move back and forth from left to right, and you go under all the ribbons except for the very right ribbon. You go over that one, and then you'll come back around and back under it. And you need, when you fold those ribbons and crease them, they need to go all the way up and touch the ribbons ahead of them, on top of them, and above them. You don't want any gaps. So very, very little gaps. You want them touching as much as possible. That's going to give you the best looking braid. Now there is another braid out there. I think it's called the herringbone or something. And to me it looks like a victory as well. And I was just trying to show you. The only difference is they don't do this extra weaving right here over and under ribbons. When you do this over and under, that's how you get all those diamond patterns. So when you're doing a victory or a harlequin, you need to make sure that you're going over and under all the ribbons so you get the diamond pattern. So this is going to be just like the very first braid, the very first folds. The pink goes under all the ribbons except for the very left ribbon. You make sure you got it pushed up. See, I'm pushing it up. I want to try to get it touching right there on the corner, right there where I was showing. Then give it a crease. Now you, on the very left ribbon, you're on top of it, but then you fold it back around and under. So you're over and under the left ribbon. And again, I push it up and make sure that it's snug up in there. Now see that gold ribbon? It needs to go under the second pink ribbon. I'm just showing you what the back looks like. Uh-oh. Oh, good. I was like, did I miss something? So it needs to go under that second pink one, and then it'll go over the third pink one. And that makes sure that you get the diamond pattern. And there's the diamond. So you want to make sure you're constantly showing that diamond pattern. If you're not, then you've missed going over and under. And that one's on top, so you know that's the next one to do, and it goes under all those ribbons except for the very right one. It's going to go on top and then back under it. The more ribbons you use, the more you're going to have to weave under and over ribbons, so keep that in mind too. And the wider the braid is going to turn out, the more ribbons you use. So if you're making a small mum, you may not want to go with these big wide ribbon or big wide braids. It's going to overwhelm them unless you go down to like a 9/16. And then you're not going to get as wide of a braid. And that one again is on top. So it's going to be the next one, and it goes under all those except for the very left one. This is a very easy braid to make. The victory braid was the very first, not the very first, it was one of the earliest braids that I learned. And it's just so easy because the pattern, you just go from left to right, and it's the same pattern over and over again. So it was really easy for me to learn that one. Again, you see you got to make sure that you're getting all the ribbons over and under. And sometimes I like to put like this on top of it while I'm braiding so it holds it in place, but you can also use it to kind of make sure you're getting good creases on everything. So the gold one is going to be the next one because it's on top. And I just realized something, and I'm taking a page from Connie's book. You know, she marks her mats to show different things on some of the braids, like where to cut and stuff. And I thought, I'm always fighting to try to find the right angle on these victory braids. Why don't I just mark one? So I just marked my mat with the perfect V. Hopefully, I have not made another one since, so we'll see if it matches up. But I'm hoping that having that there will help guide me next time I make one. Now, when I make a regular victory, I've gotten to where I do it where the ribbons are, instead of using 4 separate ribbons, I'm using 2 sets of ribbons that are folded in half and doing it that way. And I think I have a tutorial for it that way as well. It's just easier. Make sure you're creased good. I want it to look as good as possible. I don't like gaps in there. You can tell if it's not braided well. And then you have to do that when you're using 6 or 8 ribbons. You have to do those extra weaving there in the center. Like I said, I think that's where, if you don't do that, that's where that herringbone, I think that's what it's called, came from. I have not tried one, but that's what it looks like to me. So if you want to experiment with that too. There's that extra weave I'm talking about. You just keep making sure that you've got that diamond pattern and you're doing it correctly if you have that diamond pattern going. And like I said, you just keep moving back and forth from left to right. All right, I know to stop when I run out of ribbons, and there's always one that runs out before the others. I don't know if it's always the same ribbon or if it changes every time. I have no idea. I've never marked them or experimented to figure that out. But if you're that type of personality, go right ahead. I just run out when I run out. And it was the perfect length that I needed. So just stop there and I'll start stapling it. I'm going to show you. Yeah. So yeah, you always run out with one or two first, and then you've got some that are a lot longer. I don't know why it always happens that way, but that's how it is. I'm going to give one right in the middle too. Make sure everything's secure. And again, that's what the back side looks like. And then I'm going to trim it off. I'm actually going to attach it on this end, so it doesn't have to be pretty on that end. And then I knew I was going to put like a bow or something on the other side. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this video was informative and useful. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel right here. Here is one of my recent uploads. I think you will enjoy that. Here is a playlist full of great videos. Here is another video you might enjoy. Click on any of those and it'll take you right to them. Please consider subscribing, and don't forget to tap that bell for notifications on my uploads, live streams, and premieres. And happy crafting, happy mom making, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and be kind to others and be kind to yourself.